Dear family and friends, we have gathered here together to grieve the death and celebrate the life of Sara Beth Alexander. We offer gratitude and prayers for Sara's life, for we know that our lives are deeper, richer, and better because she lived among us. And at this time, we've asked Lily, Jamie, and Caitlin to come forward and light candles as we celebrate their mother's life. The sages of old taught us to honor both life and death. For everything there is a season, a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, time to plant and a time to pluck up that which was planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rip and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. I welcome you here this afternoon on behalf of Sara Beth Alexander's mother and brother, Lynetta and Kirk Alexander, and her daughters, Caitlin, Jamie, and Lily Beckham. We are in the strangest season, are we not? A season of rapid and often shocking changes. Winter to spring, calm to storm, dark to light. Sara lived just short of 43 such seasons, and we are still shocked at her passing. May the celebration of her life be a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to speak of what to keep and what to cast away. I'd like to invite you to join together in the spirit of prayer. Spirit of love, at this hour when we have united to express our gratitude for having had our time to know Sara Beth Alexander, and also to express our grief at her loss, may we give thanks for the miracle of life and for comfort when life has ended. We give thanks for the memories, clear and strong, which bind us together at this hour. May these memories, still fed by Sara's love for us and our love for her, sustain us now. May our memories grow and help us to continue to cherish Sara in our lives. May they remind us that what we have known of human goodness is ours still. Nothing can change it, and nothing can take it away, not even this death which seems to challenge the very structure of life by transforming day into night, calm into storm, the future into the past, and elders into mourners for children who should have been there to mourn their passing in the years to come. May the life which Sara lived help us to see in our shock and pain that the meaning of life is to be found in the living. We stand in Sara's memory and live in her love, praying in the name of all those who have given their lives in the service of love and justice. Blessed be, and amen. As you know, this week, one way we celebrate Sara's life is by comforting one another in our mutual grief with support right here. And I'd like to read a blessing by Rabbi Rami Shapiro that reminds us of how we need to support one another. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for the soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us even when we're too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for the meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled, ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. Caitlin, are you interested in playing? Caitlin wants to play this song, Appalachian Morning, for her mother. Thank you, Caitlin, for putting all our tears into that song. Sarah Beth was the first child of Sanford and Lynetta Alexander, born right here in Nashville's General Hospital. By all accounts, she was a beautiful baby. And as she grew, those first few years, they found out she loved her father's behavior modification philosophy, eager to pick up her toys to get more toys. She graduated to big sister, to brother Kirk, and together they grew up in a creative household where everyone loved to read books, all kinds of books, and watch movies. The stranger, the better. Sarah was outgoing and happy, enjoying selling tickets at the second-run movie theater as much as curling up alone with a book of myths from around the world. She started drawing on the walls from her crib, loved to sew, and famously painted Batman on the hood of her father's battered truck. Maybe, I wasn't quite sure, the very same truck she helped batter herself while a new driver. Inside the truck, she painted a fanciful sci-fi inspired dashboard with buttons labeled destroy and wound that you could aim at the other drivers. Her father drove her to Hume Fogg High School every morning for 4 years, listening to the same tape of his favorite band, Ongo Bongo, playing songs like Weird Science. Yet, she was still able, with that difficulty of getting to school, to excel at school in not-so-weird sciences, like earning honors in anatomy studies, as well as writing, and as a National Merit Scholar runner-up. After she left for the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, she gave her father the perfect gift, a new tape of Ongo Bongo's farewell concert. Not a perfect gift for Kirk, who then had to listen to that tape for the next 4 years. After 2.5 years in Alaska, where Sara learned to take beautiful photographs of things like frozen bubbles shattering in the cold, she left because it was really too cold. Then she went to North Dakota, where it is also really too cold. In 1999, she returned to Nashville, which, let's face it, was just right. Within a year, she moved in with a friend since high school, Ralph Beckham, and they started a family. This beautiful family here, 3 daughters, Caitlin, Jamie, and Lily, who all love to read and are as creative as their mother and have a few extra things they got from their father, like, don't you all play the flute? Yeah, got that from Dad. Sara loved to be a stay-at-home mom, and there she created a wonderful world full of stories and books, art projects, rabbits, turtles, and collections of petrified wood, really good food like fried yams covered with powdered sugar, which I'm sure she learned to make in North Dakota, and as the girls said, really wasn't that healthy. But they knew that. Mom was full of surprises. One day she went out to the gas station and came back with 2 cockadoos, who are still part of the family. But the girls gave Mom surprises too. One gave her a mysterious present. Sara put her hand in the box and was surprised to feel a kind of solid, not really solid mass of wet, slimy snails, fresh from the creek. One year, the girls and Mom grew a garden together, and whenever it rained, Mom encouraged them to pick up all the worms. Now, you have to know that every summer, Sara freely handed out popsicles to the neighborhood kids daily, right? So one summer, rainy day, Jamie, I'm telling on you, Jamie, told them how much her mother loved worms. So 15 kids gave Sara a fistful of worms each. Wonderful thanks for all those popsicles. Sara often proudly told her mother and brother and probably half the people in this room about stories about her 3 wonderful daughters. The girls proudly tell stories about their mother as well. For instance, I'm telling a story on you now, Caitlin. Caitlin once had a meltdown and skipped her Spanish class by climbing out a window to the school roof. Her mother's response was, 1 free screw-up. And with that grace, Caitlin kept it kind of to 1. Now, this eulogy feels like it ends in mid-telling, doesn't it? Because Sara's death was another surprise. It feels like the familiar old tape broke before the album was over. Yet, we have just begun to tell stories of her life. The more we share the stories, the more we understand that it is not the length of a life that measures it. It's the richness of the memories that you share. I know it will take the rest of your lives to give full tribute to the memories you have of Sara. After Caitlin plays another selection, if she wants to, I will invite you to come forward to share a memory of Sara with us. And so, Sara, would you like to play the second song? Okay. So we have 2 microphones. If you would like to speak at this microphone where Caitlin was playing, or if you'd like to come up to this lectern, please know that we appreciate your stories. If you don't want to speak of them, there'll be other opportunities in the social hall afterwards to share them with each other and to write little stories down for Lynetta and the girls to save. But at this time, I'm just going to sit down, and these microphones are yours.
name's Elizabeth. Okay. Yes, miss, honey. I've known Sarah 20 years. Just wanted to share a story. When we first met, I was pregnant with my daughter, and she knew my husband first, and we went over to visit, and my legs was real swollen, and was sitting on the couch, and she went and got the biggest bottle of lotion that she could find, and she started rubbing my feet and my legs, and she was like, I know this is weird because you don't know me, but we're really close friends, and I'm just going to make you feel better because I know Michael did not rub your feet before you came over here. And that just, ever since then, we've been really close friends. She was so amazing at everything she did. She could make jewelry, she was artistic, she loved to read, and yes, her movies was really bad, but with her, it's great. And I'm really gonna miss her. And I have you 3 girls, and I really want to keep y'all around. I love y'all.
On the radio, in passing one day, I heard somebody talk about would the people that aren't here this afternoon that may have passed away, they had something to do when they woke up that morning, and they had plans, and certainly leaving wasn't in their plans. Sara was incredible, and I'll have this story for actually Lily. I promised you something. I'm going to try to give it to you without crying. I work at a family medical practice. That's my job. But it's not what we do. We actually love. And Sarah's family was loved. She would come to the office to talk about what the girls needed, what struggles she was having with them growing up, but she never came empty-handed. She always brought something to us, and I would tease Beverly about it. I'd say, someday somebody's really just gonna bring a chicken and trade for the services that we're offering. But Sara would have a photo cube, or she drew pictures of the girls, or she would have an idea about something, or she would comment on us. In talking and dialoguing, because she liked to engage, I would talk about cooking. And I told her I like cast iron. You'd have to be careful with what you said to Sara, because she would bring it, she would find it, and all of a sudden she'd have a cast iron skillet for me, maybe in a Christmas bag, even if it was Easter, and say, look what I found for you. Sometimes it would be flowers or clothes. And she'd say, if you guys can't wear these, give them to somebody else. But she never was without giving. A lot of times we question the presence of God in our life, and then he appears in a different form. And then I say, oh, he must really exist. And then something else happens, and I decide I exist greater than him. But I was talking while doing some meal prep, and I said, I really wish I had a better casserole dish on a Saturday. And the following Monday, Sara pulled up on the side of the building. Now, I'm out there trying to smoke, nothing good. She usually comes in the office, and when she brings something, she brings it for everybody. But this particular day, Lily, she said, this is for you. I don't have anything for anybody else. I think that, you could probably use this. And I was so struck by the fact that I just said it in the universe, and Sara appears with it. But she was in an excited mood, and she was really, really happy. And I said, what's going on? And she said, I just got validated as a mom. And I said, what? How can you be validated just now as a mom? She said, no, I get validations along the way, but this one was really, really important. She said Lily had been gone for the weekend with friends. But when she came home, she thanked me. She said, Mom, thank you for teaching me to imagine. Thank you for teaching me to talk. Because I was just somewhere, and while I had a good time, everybody was on their device, and I wanted to play, and I wanted to talk. And I said, wow. And she said, but you don't get it. She said, I'm a good mom because I taught her that. She was so excited about it. It didn't really matter what else was going on in the world, Lily. She was so excited about you validating her as a good mother for you. Even though this time is hard, you will remember the fun stories eventually. We have many. I've seen pictures of you guys growing up because your mom brought them to us and shared them. So know that we love you, know that we care, know that we'll always be here for you, and know that the memories in our heart of her are happy and full of grace, and that she, for me, she wasn't my mom, so I can't validate that part, but for me, she validated that angels live among us.
Hello, my name is Salantis, and I probably haven't known her as long as most of you guys. She is the mom of my best friend, and I had the pleasure of knowing her for a few years, and I just wanted to say something because it felt right. She would tell me stories and about her growing up and about her family, just about the places she would been. And she would give me advice and tell me that I had my whole future, and that me and Caitlin had our whole futures. And I thought she'd be a part of it, and I would have my turn to tell her the stories of where I would get to go. And I know it's really hard for all of you guys. And I know that it's nothing I can say or do that would make you feel better, but just know that love lasts forever, and that as long as you have the memories, that love won't go away, and that it will always be with you, no matter how hard it is. And I'm sorry, just thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to come forward? Oh, Lynetta.
As most of you know, these are my grandgirls, and they are the best, thanks to having been around Sara. But Kirk and I wrote an obituary. We sent it to, or we asked Gannett to publish it, and they wanted $500, so we opted not to do that. But I have to tell you, Sara was just this most peculiarly wonderful child. She just would, I just can't tell you. In any case, we were in school in Illinois, and Sara had walked around. She was late coming home, and I, of course, was very worried. But when she did come in, she had been going around a nearby little pond or body of water, and she had been picking up the recycling. And I was so glad that she had been doing that. Another Sara story is that I have been this avid recycler, and so Caitlin, I'm sorry, I'm kind of disjointed here. Caitlin had gone to her first day in junior high, and when she opened up the van door, recycling fell out all around her. And I have to tell you, she was just mortified. So it was that being in this sort of family that just created such a wonderful person. She also was, indeed, as everyone has alluded to, such an incredible reader. And she just enjoyed folklore a lot. And she was just a wonderful human being, and I cannot tell all of you how much I appreciate your being here. It was just an incredible shock, and I appreciate you all, and I will be here through the end of the school year because Caitlin is graduating from high school this year. Caitlin and all three of the girls have made efforts this year to maintain straight A's. Caitlin graduates from high school, and these two girls are moving up soon to, what, 6th and 8th? What? Ninth and 7th. That's it. 9th and 7th. And they all are just such wonderful people, as all of you know. So I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you.
We have just begun to share memories of Sara Beth Alexander, daughter, sister, lover, mother, friend. She loved life, lived it fully, with intelligent creativity and gusto. She loved you, her family, and friends, especially her 3 daughters, Caitlin, Jamie, and Lily. She died too soon, but always remember, she left a rich legacy. She was proud of you 3 girls. She showed you a love for life, an open heart, generous hands, and a creative, spontaneous approach to the world. She loved largely, and she loved you best of all. With her passing, however, it is up to us to keep her legacy alive. Your mother, as other people here so wisely shared, lives on. Whenever we share memories of her life and act with creativity, love, and generosity. As you all share your memories, you will learn ever more of the surprising gifts she has passed on to you. I don't think we've begun to know what all those gifts are. So reach bravely into those boxes. Reach bravely into those boxes. Live what you find within them. Your love of life will bless her life over and over again. Sara lives on in us those who remember her with love. Let us, therefore, continue to tell stories about our lives with Sara at the reception following this service and all the years to come. For there is a time to be born and a time to die. Today is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. We weep when we remember Sara's death, and we laugh when we remember her life. The time to love her will not end. It will never end. Her love for you will never, ever end. But the time to keep her has passed. So we will weep and laugh together, connected through her in love. Blessed be, and amen. And the family invites you to greet them in the social area for a reception.